Assistant Commissioner Leanne McCusker is the domestic violence spokesperson for New South Wales Police. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much, Leigh.
How is it possible that police provided Sophie Spittle's partner a USB of her personal data?
Part of a forensic procedure to secure evidence and to secure digital evidence that can be used at court. That this process was conducted with Sophie's phone, and that was first and foremost done, for the victim to actually obtain admissible evidence that can be used at court, to be able to put that forward in a court matter. Now, in terms of the USB that was provided, a normal process for any court matter is for the brief of evidence to be served to the accused. And in this particular incident, that USB was part of that. However, I'll acknowledge to you here and tonight that the sensitive material over and above what was part of admissible evidence should not have been contained on that USB, should not have been provided to the accused. And I certainly acknowledge that shouldn't have happened. Can I also say that that was a genuine mistake, and there was certainly never ever any intent for any danger or for Sophie to even fear any danger, because always, the victim protection, the victim care, ensuring the victim's safety is certainly paramount for any police officer, but certainly for New South Wales Police as a whole.
For the officer who was involved in this mistake with the USB, what sort of consequences are there?
Yeah, certainly any complaint of this nature is certainly dealt with seriously, and that investigation or internal process has taken place, and the appropriate management action has been put in place, and the training and ongoing development has been put in place as well.
And so what was that?
So that's certainly advising of the correct process regarding the USB and the management of that process, and therefore the ongoing training and development, the victim care, and specific training for domestic violence.
Is there a culture of misogyny at Hornsby Police Station in Sydney? Because as we heard in that story, it's not the first problematic incident relating to that station.
Yeah. So in terms of there's significant training is across the board for New South Wales Police regarding domestic violence. That training starts at the New South Wales Police Academy, and can I say that that training is about legislation, but it's also about scenario based and about victim care as well. We continue with ongoing training throughout an officer's career, and that will be, in particular, if they choose a career in criminal investigation, if they choose a career in youth work, and most certainly specialist domestic violence officers. The particular police station has a number of specialist domestic violence officers, but again, all those frontline police officers are trained in domestic violence, and across the board that training is continued. We have a dedicated domestic violence team that continues training across the state, and has also provided additional training to that command, like is done to other commands as well.
We've recently seen the New South Wales coroner criticise the gaps in policing that contributed to the deaths of Jack and Jennifer Edwards. We had a story on this program a couple of weeks ago about a young woman who made a domestic violence complaint, and then there was video showing that the police, when they attended the scene, seemed to be effectively coaching the alleged perpetrator. The New South Wales coroner recommended in the Edwards findings that, highlighted some concerns around the police domestic violence training. Are you looking at, you've mentioned some of the training there, but are you looking at doing more?
Yeah, training, New South Wales Police training is continually reviewed in terms of the various recommendations following the Coronial investigation. A number of those recommendations have already been put in place and others are in the process. So, as the corporate sponsor for domestic and family violence, I really want to say to you that New South Wales Police take this serious, that this domestic violence is a crime and we certainly take that serious. We continue to learn and we continue to ensure that our training is contemporary for the day-to-day environment.
Many women, as we know, are reluctant to report domestic violence, and the fear is that when we do stories like this, it discourages people even further because they see the failings of the system. What can you say to reassure women that what they're seeing isn't typical?
It is one of our strongest priorities to ensure that we get this right. And I do understand that reluctance to come forward. Unfortunately, we know, not only as a police force, but as a community, we know domestic and family violence is underreported. As a community, we need to support all victims in those situations. We need to provide that support, and New South Wales Police continue to provide that support strongly. I think it's important that we identify what those red flags are as well, and my advice to anyone in that situation is please come forward, report early, report often, and to, for that appropriate support to be provided.
Assistant Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Leigh Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.